Hello, Nick Robinson.
Hey Simone,
How are you doing today?
I'm good. Welcome to the team.
Thanks. I chose my first video to make you sit through. It's Assassin's Creed Identity
Perfect.
on iOS.
Correct me if
Now,
I'm wrong, Simone, but this is very on brand for you, right?
it's almost eerily on brand for me. It's like the entire universe came together and said, "You're going to start working at Polygon, and here's an Assassin's Creed game for you to review or overview." It is not a main series game. It just came out on iOS and Android, and basically, it's just like the stealth and assassination parts of any regular Assassin's Creed game. It's
Mhm.
condensed down to that. Instead of this massive open world for you to explore, there are a bunch of different levels that you'll probably recognize if you've played, say, any of the Ezio games. So there's like Montereggiano, where he has his family home. You go to Florence, Firenze, but you play this assassin of your own design that you get to name and dress up in fancy assassin clothes.
At a glance, I don't know that I would actually immediately realize this is a mobile game. It looks pretty robust.
It looks darn good, and like the frame rates are really good. And there's a point later where I'm like looking at the view, and it is so gorgeous. Like it's insanely gorgeous, and it actually moves pretty fluidly.
How does it control? What is that like?
Well, it suffers from a lot of the issues I think any 3D game on mobile suffers from. You're
Mhm.
controlling it with just your thumb, so one thumb, the left thumb moves you, and you can either drag in the direction you want to go, or you can tap, like I'm doing a lot here because it's a really complicated terrain. I'm tapping where I want to go, and he'll go there.
Oh, cool.
And then you can look around with your right thumb. And so some of the times I would run into the problem where my thumb would be on the wrong side of the screen and I would accidentally move him instead
Ah,
of
I gotcha.
looking around. And then you launch yourself off a building or say off a cliff.
I don't know. That sounds like pretty authentic Assassin's Creed to me.
I was going to say, usually I consider that like a quintessential part of the Assassin's Creed gameplay because it makes
Right.
me laugh. But in this, it's kind of like, oh, I made a mistake. The game isn't messing up. It's me,
Mm.
and that's kind of not as amusing to me. Like I like it when I first played Assassin's Creed. I was trying to run through a crowd to climb that church, and it
Right.
was like I was drunk. I was
Right.
smashing into people and falling over and tripping over myself, and that was hilarious to me. That's what I consider to be perfect Assassin's Creed gameplay.
So why do you think they decided to like hone it down to just the stealth stuff? Is it because like doing the more action combat-y gameplay would be a harder thing to pull off on like I just feel like action and reactive stuff is not that easy to do on a touch screen, whereas stealth stuff you can kind of be a little more deliberate. Is that what they're going for, you think?
Well, there are some action sequences.
Mm.
This one is a particularly stealthy sequence, but you can get into fights like with guards, and fighting is basically just tapping. You see that hand button that down there?
Yeah.
That turns into a sword if I get seen or exposed to guards. And so you
Gotcha.
basically just tap that and you can kind of swipe around and target different guards. And then as you move through and advance your assassin, you get different attacks. Like there's a really cool one that basically giant fire circle is how I would describe it. And people get thrown back. And there's a lot of different outfit items, like I said before, that you can customize, and there's a forging system, so you can kind of, take your pauldrons and combine them with other armor items, and then get stronger armor. I don't find the outfits as, I guess, electrifying
The
as
dude
say.
this guy you've created looks kind of like a human Guy Fawkes mask is the vibe I'm getting.
I chose the creepiest face I could. They all kind of look like off-brand Ezio's. I was like,
Okay.
okay, I'm gonna choose the one that looks like he's gonna kill you in a dark alley.
I know one of your favorite things about Assassin's Creed is the kind of narrative stuff. Is there much of that there? Is there enough of that here?
Unfortunately, not really. It's basically just here is your assassin. He's kind of carrying on Ezio's legacy. Cesare Borgia is doing stuff. There's a lot of codex entries to read, so like all that flavor is there, but it's not really integrated into each level. Um, yeah, it is definitely very light on the story in a way that it's a little hard to follow just because there's so many things to read, but then they don't really carry into what you're doing on each level.
Hmm.
Like you can be very aware of what the story that the game is telling, but it's honestly pretty thin. So it's kind of like if the Assassin's Creed gameplay, like that, those stealth mechanics and fighting is what you want to do, and you want to be able to do it anywhere, not sitting on your couch, I guess this is for you. But if you're in it for, say, the world building or any of like the open world exploration,
No
it doesn't
ragdolls,
really.
unfortunately, though, huh?
I had some great ones where they would die before I stabbed them, so they would fall over, and then I would like launch myself across the rooftop. Oh, Palino Valenti. It lets you choose from pre-generated Italian names.
Oh, perfect. I was wondering if you came up with that. I mean, all that stuff aside, it does look at the very least like a technically impressive thing, just that this is running on a phone. Like, what a time to be alive.
I know, it's pretty fantastic. It's relatively fun to play. I like it. I like Assassin's Creed. So that was yeah, it's not gonna like win any awards, but it's not terrible.
Cool. Surprise.
My endorsement.